What you experience as a child sets your expectation for what is normal for all the rest of life. When it comes to children who grew up with divorced or separated families, there are many things that we learn from our childhood experience without anyone ever saying anything that we will carry with us into our adult life unless we have the chance to explore those beliefs, reconsider them, perhaps change them, adapt, adjust, and learn new ways of thinking, relating, and feeling. I want to talk about a number of things that you experience as a kid that you take with you into your adult life as a child of divorced or separated parents. Number one, as a kid, you were constantly moving homes between mom's house, dad's house. There were so many changes in your life. There may have been years or even decades of your life when you didn't spend more than 1 or 2 days or weeks in the same bed. You were constantly moving back and forth between mom's house and dad's house, or summer camp, boarding school. Maybe mom or dad got remarried and they moved in with their new partner. Then maybe they broke up and you moved somewhere else. You were often living out of a suitcase, sleeping on a sofa bed or a pull-out bed or on the floor or in somebody else's bed because they were somewhere with their other parent. Moving around was more normal to you than staying in one place. So now, as an adult, of course, you struggle to feel at home anywhere. You don't know how to be rooted and settled. You're not sure how do you put down roots. And actually staying in one place for more than a few months or weeks feels strange and unusual, even uncomfortable. You might feel more comfortable in temporary accommodation, whether that's house sitting, flat sharing, maybe you're backpacking, staying in a dorm, staying with friends, overseas trips, anything that just lets you to stay on the move and always just adapt. If you stay somewhere for too long, it feels strange and you have no idea how to live the normal life that other people think is normal. Number two, as a child, you experienced broken promises from your parents. They broke their promises to one another, to stay together, to love and support one another, and they may have broken some promises to you. You grew up perhaps hearing one parent not pay the child support that they were supposed to, one parent not be on time to pick you up, somebody canceling or changing their plans at the last minute. It's left you wondering who you can trust and who you can depend on. So is it any wonder that now as an adult, you're not sure who to trust and you don't want to trust anybody. You avoid being vulnerable. You've learned that depending on other people is risky, it's dangerous. It's better to have a backup plan, to be self-sufficient, to always have a contingency and a way out, to be independent and able to accomplish things all alone. Number three, as a child, you didn't have help processing your pain and your grief. Your parents were going through a terrible experience and you didn't want to add more difficulty to them. Or perhaps they just didn't have the capacity or the wherewithal, the knowledge or the understanding to know how to support their young children through this huge change and big loss. Maybe you tried to express some of your anger, sadness, pain, or frustration with your parents and they shut you down, or you could tell that it was a huge burden on them. So you learned to adapt and adjust. You kept your pain and your feelings to yourself. There may have been adults in your life or other people who told you to just get over it, move on, accept reality, not make a big deal of it, not make things harder for your mom or your dad. So you stuffed your pain, you ignored it, you separated yourself from it, you blocked it off. And now, as an adult, you are an expert at numbing your pain, hiding your feelings, and denying that they're there. You don't want to be seen as weak or needy. You don't want to reveal your vulnerabilities to people around you. And you doubt if anybody actually cares about your feelings or has the capacity to handle them, especially the difficult, painful, scary, or intense ones. Number four, as a child, you were confused about the reason that your parents split up. There was a lot of secrecy and hush-hush around what happened. You've never thought about asking your parents exactly what happened, why they split up. You're afraid of the answers that you might get. You've learned to avoid certain topics. You've learned not to talk to one parent about the other. And so there is a whole blank, unknown uncertainty about what actually happened in their relationship. As a child, you filled in those blanks with a child's perspective and a child's understanding. Now, as an adult, perhaps you see romantic relationships as something very mysterious and unknowable. It's difficult to predict what will happen in any relationship. There's no rhyme or reason. There's no explanation for why. Sometimes things work and sometimes they don't work. You've done some research and you've tried to learn about it, but you're still not really sure. Maybe it's the pheromones, maybe it's the attachment styles, maybe it's personality types, opposites attract, birth order. who really knows? You yourself aren't sure what you're looking for in a relationship, and you don't know what in yourself needs to be worked on or changed or healed in order to be ready for a healthy relationship. Number 5, as a child, you felt you had to earn your parents' love and approval. You learned that parents disappeared quickly without any reason. They weren't around for long, so when they were around, you needed to do whatever you could to keep them happy. There was a huge amount of pressure to present the best version of yourself, to keep your parents happy, to win their attention, to keep them interested in you because you didn't know when they would go away or when you would see them again. So now, as an adult, you do whatever you think you have to do to keep people happy. You might be a perfectionist, a people pleaser. You might stay in friendships, jobs, or romantic relationships longer than you want because you're afraid of being rejected, and you would rather have something and somebody, a place to belong, than to be left out or excluded. Number 6, as a child you experienced rejection, loss, and abandonment. And the fear of abandonment is one of humans' greatest fears. And yet for you, it happened. One of your parents, or both, disappeared from your life. Family life as you knew it ended, and you no longer had all the people you loved together under the same roof. It's impossible for a child to separate a parent's rejection of the other parent from the rejection of themselves. You took it on that you yourself were not wanted or loved. And so now, as an adult, you expect rejection and abandonment in every relationship. You may decide it's better and safer to reject people before they can reject you. You may see the world as a glass half empty and always imagine the worst case scenario. Number 7, as a child, you were uncertain about the future, about where you would live next, who you would spend time with next, what was going to happen next. Maybe one of your parents would get remarried or divorced. There would be a new step sibling or half sibling. Maybe you would move to a new home or a new school. You learned to expect that change was the constant thing in your life, more than stability. And so now, as an adult, planning seems pointless. Long-term goals, expectations, and plans, they all seem futile. There's very little that you have control over, and you know that, especially people. Also, jobs, homes, relationships, friendships, career paths. It's easier to just keep things at a surface level. It's dangerous to get too attached to any one person, place, or thing. Everybody is shaped by the experiences that we have in childhood. There's nothing to be ashamed about that. If you grew up with divorced or separated parents, some of these experiences that I've described may resonate with you. When I sat down and thought about the lessons that I had learned as a result of my parents' breakup, remarriage, moving, and so on, and started to connect the dots between the things that I had learned as a child and the way that I was operating in my career, my relationships, my friendships, it all started to make sense. No wonder I was afraid of being vulnerable. No wonder I would prefer to be independent. No wonder it felt so normal to keep moving from place to place. It's no surprise that I struggled to plan ahead or to have big goals for myself, because I'd learned from experience that everything can fall apart in one moment without any warning. If you found this video helpful, then please like it, subscribe, follow along. Let me know what other topics you'd like to think about, talk about, or discuss as an adult child of divorce.